to welcome the valedictorian of the class of 2015, Monica DeJose.
Over the next few weeks, hundreds of thousands of seniors across the country will graduate. Their robes, every color combination possible. Their numbers, anywhere from the thousands to a handful of students. But this isn't a story about them. Surrounding us are our friends, families, and teachers. They look upon us with beaming faces and bright eyes, excited, yet saddened as we walked down the aisle in our red gowns. But this isn't a story about them. This is a story about us, and more specifically, a story about you. This is a story about how the 64 of us found ourselves at IWA on a path that leads to this day, to the conclusion of this story. This is the story of each and every one of you. The jock, the brain, the princess, and everything in between and beyond. This is the story of you, the you that is at the end of a 4-year journey, a distinct and colorful page in the IWA story. So, what is the IWA story? It's more than that awkward first week of school, anxious and curious as to which lunch table you'll sit at. It's more than late night studying with Netflix on, convinced that the TV won't distract you at all. It's more than cheering for your friends at a game or a meet, screaming like your voice will somehow carry them further and faster. It's more than the APs and final exams. Thank God that isn't the IWA story. Maybe I'm just a touch overdramatic, or maybe I've played too many video games. But I tried to see every day as an adventure. Once upon 4 years ago, most of us crossed the entrance for the first time. We made the journey against all odds and against all traffic. From every corner of the greater Houston area to come to Incarnate Word Academy day after day. We struggled through our challenges together, breezed through others, and pulled each other along. Rinse, wash, repeat. Together, we slowly chipped away at the daunting task of graduating until this very point, the sum of 4 years of adventures. 4 years ago is when it all started, and really, 4 years isn't a long time. And yet, those 4 years were spent pushing forward, growing, maturing, changing from the people we were. Isn't it funny how, day by day, nothing changes? But when we look back, everything's different. Just so we're clear, that's a C.S. Lewis quote. Plagiarism, guys, don't do it. Many people in my class have heard me say this already, but the prospect of graduating has felt pretty anticlimactic, to be completely honest. I know it's the holy grail of high school, but the last couple of weeks felt like the same old, same old. And yet, in preparing this speech, I struggled to recall the beginning of our story together. Thankfully, we have Lauren for that. Ultimately, the class of 2015 that sits before you is completely different from the class of 2015 from 4 years ago. And it will be all the more different 10, 5, even 1 year from now. This doesn't feel like goodbye. It's more like a see you later, I'll miss having class with you. And for many of us, that still isn't the case, looking at all you A&M, Tech, Baylor kids. We're still going to keep in touch, and we're still going to make the effort to see each other. A lot of people, well, movies really, Treat graduation as a final farewell, as if the seniors won't try to see each other again, which, in my mind, is completely ridiculous. Graduation doesn't break or completely change the friendships and bonds we established. Instead, it makes the time together all the sweeter, deepening what we've got. As we take the first step into our next chapter, we carry the weight of our adventures here. Fond memories of sisterhood, words of wisdom passed from teacher to student. Tears, laughter, joy shared in our ups and downs. This is the IWA story we carry, a story that we have penned and which will continue on, turning another chapter for a future class. I know speeches past take the opportunity to list their life lessons for the class, but I know how this goes. Firstly, I've only got the same advice you've heard 1,000 times before. Secondly, I don't expect you to remember the words I say. I don't have any grand illusions of my words resonating in you for the rest of your lives. That's fine, though. I'm little more than a conclusion to this chapter, the lucky one that gets to write the last words on the page. I've had my 4 years, like you all here, like students past and students to come. And ultimately, what you make of the experience is what you get. IWA has a lot to give us, and indeed, she gave us a lot. But in the end, it was us that gave to the school. It's the students that breathed life into IWA and made it what it is. We are the IWA story, and this is what we carry. I am proud and honored to stand before you all, classmates, friends, sisters. Thank you for making this the best adventure yet. And so our chapter closes, and so another begins.